On the news tonight, to prevent dangerous products in the country, federal government inaugurates task forces on fake drugs. Plus, Nigerian Correctional Service clamor for inmate voting rights. Good evening and welcome to Nta Ijebu Ode at 7. My name is Oriofe Ogushola. I have the news in details. Dangerous products not only compromise treatment outcomes, but also erode public trust in healthcare institutions. This the federal government vows to prevent in Nigeria. Coordinating Minister of Health and Social Welfare, Professor Mohammed Ali Pate, stressed this at the inauguration of the federal and state task force on counterfeit, fake drugs, and unwholesome processed foods. And Manager Mbani reports.
The inauguration of these task forces is seen as part of a broader reform aimed at achieving universal health coverage and ensuring the integrity of the nation's public health supply chains. It also aligns with the current administration's health sector renewal investment plan, which prioritizes quality, accountability, and stronger health system governance. The initiative is believed to represent a commitment to tackling the long-standing menace of substandard and falsified products that has endangered the lives of millions of Nigerians. Provision of Cap C-24 of NAFDAC gives the initiative a strong backing. Coordinating Minister, Health and Social Welfare, Professor Mohammed Ali Pate, emphasized that the proliferation of counterfeit medicines and unwholesome food items pose a critical threat to the nation's health system, consumer safety, and overall national development.
Together, I'm sure we'll overcome. There is no challenge that is beyond us. And let's all commit to a future where every Nigerian can trust that the medicines that they take and that the food that they consume are safe, genuine, and wholesome. This is what the President Bola Ahmed Tinubu is trying to get this country on a path so that we are respected.
In the coming weeks and months, the task forces are to intensify efforts towards the rollout of public awareness campaigns, leveraging on innovation and technology to checkmate those who seek to undermine health and safety standards of the country.
The fight against counterfeit products in Nigeria is urgent and ongoing. Lives are at stake every day. Women, children's lives are at stake almost every minute. And delays in action only deepen the risks faced by our people.
With this initiative, the federal government is sending a clear message. The health and safety of Nigerians will not be left to chance. Hamad Jabani, NTA News.
The Minister of Agriculture and Food Security says the ministry will begin registering and identifying smallholder farmers eligible for the federal government agriculture intervention programs. This is coming as the Minister Abubakar Kayari seeks the support of traditional institutions to ensure the success of the food security program. Musa Baba Ali reports.
Traditional institutions have over the years been the backbone of mobilizing, encouraging, and educating farmers in their localities. This is the rationale behind the Minister of Agriculture's engagement with traditional rulers in Nasarawa State. At the palace of Aren Egon Ahmed Ubangari Alakuwan, the Minister Abubakar Kyari highlighted some of the interventions and support provided by President Tinubu to enhance the production of smallholder farmers. Abubakar Kyari assured the traditional rulers that President Tinubu is committed to addressing the challenges associated with farming in the country. He stated that the government is aware of the high cost of farming inputs and that efforts are underway to further reduce production costs.
For the first time in Portugal, the President of Bola that gave out fertilizer free of charge. And that was why fertilizer pricing was taken to our.
The Emir had earlier outlined some of the challenges and demands of farmers to the minister.
We kindly request for your support and intervention to ensure price stability, protect farmers from losses.
The minister also paid homage to the Sarkin Gudi, the father of the current governor of Nasarawa State, Abdullahi Sule. From Lafia, Nasarawa State, Musa Baba Aliyu, NTA News.
The United States of America's ambassador to Nigeria, Richard Mills Jr., reaffirmed Americans' continued commitment to respect and value the relationship between the U.S. and Nigeria. At a joint media briefing in Abuja, the U.S. Ambassador and the Minister of Information and National Orientation, Mohammed Idris, said the new American visa policy is not to delay Nigerians or deny Nigerians traveling to the U.S. Soliu Abdullahi Gwanara reports.
The United States of America and Nigeria are both enjoying several decades of bilateral relationship with shared prosperity in socio-economic and human capital development among its citizens. Barely 200 days in office of U.S. President Donald Trump, his latest administrative policies on prospective Nigerian travelers to the U.S. have been generating mixed reactions. Here, the Minister of Information and National Orientation, Mohammed Idris, and the U.S. Ambassador to Nigeria, Richard Mills Jr., assured that the new visa policies are not designed to deny Nigerians entry into the U.S., but to enhance service delivery while sustaining the existing strong relationship between both countries.
We had engagement with Ambassador Mills, and what he has told me that this is in no way punitive. It's just to enhance service delivery between the two countries. These are not new measures. Everyone knows that when you want to visit any country, it is your duty to ensure compliance with their laws. I mean, when someone comes into Nigeria, we expect that person to also comply with our laws here. So, what I want to say here is that Nigerians must continue to demonstrate a better sense of patriotism about their country.
We encourage all applicants to provide truthful information and abide by the terms of their visas, as I know the great majority of Nigerians do. By doing that, we are going to strengthen the bonds between our countries, and we will ensure that opportunities for travel, business, and cultural exchange remain available to all of us.
This is a shared commitment to update Nigeria's potential travelers to the U.S. of the new order and guarantee their safety. In Abuja, Salihu Abdullahi Gwanara, NTA News.
Following a controversial incident at the Nnamdi Azikiwe International Airport in Abuja on Tuesday, August 5, 2025, a public figure identified as Wasiu Ayinde Marshal, K1 the Ultimate, has issued an unreserved apology acknowledging personal misconduct and pleading for forgiveness from the authorities and the public. The Fuji legend tendered the apology at a World Press Conference at his Mayegun residence in Ijebu Ode, Ogun State on Friday, 8 August 2025.
The incident is highly regrettable because I have contributed the better part of my life in the past 50 years to the growth and development of Nigeria, my country, art and culture, both in and out of the country. I've been a good ambassador of this great nation, in and out, in very many ways. Somebody like me should not be found in such incidents. I accept responsibility and appealing to Mr. President, the country, the Honorable Minister for Aviation, the FAAN, the NCAA, and my fans across the globe to please pardon my behavior. Number one, I passed through 2 checkposts and the content of my cup was screened. Need to say I have any content in the cup. Until I got to the lounge while awaiting the boarding of the aircraft, I pour water in it because of my health situation. I need to be sipping water because I'm dehydrated. I take full responsibility of all incidents. Once again, I seek forgiveness from Mr. President, the Commander-in-Chief of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, who is also my father and father of the nation, the Honorable Minister for Aviation, the pilot, the airline staff, passengers, and above all, my fans across the globe, my family, for the incident. My love for the country is unshakable. I am still the darling ambassador of our nation, and I'll continue to carry the banner of this great country everywhere all my life.
Concluded with a reiteration of deep regret over the incident and a commitment to improved behavior going forward. Nta Ijebu Ode is at 7. We'll not be going on a short break. Please stay tuned.
Are you desiring a future career in nursing science, law, medical laboratory science, public health, accounting, economics, agricultural extension and rural development, criminology and security studies, and other NUC-approved and accredited professional academic programs? If your UTME score 140 and above, then this information is for you. Admission for all these courses is currently ongoing at the Atiba University, Oyo, Nigeria's fastest growing and cost-effective private university. The university is located in the peaceful, serene, and secure environment of Oyo Township in Oyo State, Nigeria. Hurry now. Admission is in progress. Visit www.atibauniversity.edu.ng to apply or call any of these numbers: 081-034-94152, 080-385-79822. What are you waiting for? The future is now.
Oh, what a wonderful world of SureClean detergent. Oh yes, you can have a clean and bright wash with SureClean. SureClean detergent is tough on stains, gentle on your hands, and leaves clothes smelling fresh. Oh see, for clean white and all colors, SureClean detergent makes you shine. As you spread it all, you can see the shine of SureClean brightness. Now, wear your smile with pride and nothing to hide. SureClean detergent makes your family clean and happy. SureClean detergent, happiness with every wash.
Welcome back from the break and thank you for being there. The Nigeria Electricity Regulatory Commission has called for synergy between federal government and sub-nationals as the sector is evolving with reforms to decentralize the electricity market. This is coming as Nigeria Electricity Regulatory Commission granted approval to 12 states to regulate the electricity market. Joshua Ojito reports.
The Electricity Act 2023 empowers sub-nationals to regulate their electricity market in order to generate, transmit and distribute within their jurisdiction, which 12 states have so far been granted approval. However, the Nigerian Electricity Regulatory Commission says there is need for coordination to ensure seamless transition.
The industry at this material time and the need to navigate the ongoing reform of transferring the oversight to the state and ensure that we achieve the much expected growth in the industry, and we look forward for all the initiatives you will be bringing on board for improvements in the power sector.
As the acting chairman of the commission takes over responsibility of the regulatory agency, his eyes are on the industry players to deliver adequate electricity.
We know the problem they are facing, so this time is not going to be a business as usual. The distribution company, the generation company must do the right thing.
The Electricity Act 2023 mandates the Nigerian Electricity Regulatory Commission to maintain its central role of regulation of national and international electricity markets. Joshua Ojito, NTA News.
The Nigerian Correctional Service is pushing for the voting right of inmates across the country. Controller General of Correction Sylvester Onwache was at the headquarters of the Independent National Electoral Commission in Abuja to seek collaboration on making this a reality, a move that could reshape Nigeria's democratic landscape. Victor Asu reports.
It was a visit with democracy on the agenda. Controller General of Corrections Sylvester Onwache led his team to the INEC chairman, Professor Mahmoud Yakubu, to press for a cause rarely in the headlines, the voting rights of inmates. With more than 81,000 inmates nationwide, out of which more than 66,000 are awaiting trial, Onwache says they are often overlooked in the political process, despite a court ruling in Benin affirming their right to vote.
I'm here to see how we can work together, even if it is not now, but in the nearest future, to grant these inmates the right to vote.
The INEC chairman, Professor Mahmoud Yakubu, acknowledged the ruling, but he also recalled the challenges that have so far stalled implementation, including status of inmates on death row, those serving life sentences, and those convicted for treason.
We raised the issue of access to the correctional facilities for voter registration, creation of polling units, and voter education. We also brought to your attention concerns about access to our facilities for observers and the media. Political parties also want to know if they will be allowed to campaign in the correctional facilities and appoint polling agents on election day.
Yakubu says the first step will be to engage the National Assembly for clear legal provision on inmate voting before both agencies can work out modalities for implementation, while safeguarding democratic rights and ensuring inclusion. For thousands behind bars, this could mean a long silent voice finally being heard. In Abuja, Victor Azu, NTA News.
The phrase brain is time and time is brain. Guest in Good Morning Nigeria reiterated underscores the urgent need for rapid action in treating brain health emergencies, particularly strokes. This, they noted, is because brain cells begin dying within minutes of oxygen deprivation, making swift medical intervention critical. The guest suggested practical advice and steps as Good Morning Nigerian continues series on brain health for all ages. Leader Samson reports.
Brain is time and time is brain. The mantra the guest notes emphasizes that every second counts, meaning the faster a patient receives treatment, such as clot removal or clot-busting drugs, the better the chances of preserving brain function and minimizing long-term damage.
So it is not just the weakness that the person has that the person may manifest with, but the person may also manifest with deterioration in overall human behavior in terms of emotions, cognitions, intelligence, depending on the areas involved.
To keep the muscles active, because if you don't have physiotherapy when the muscles are temporarily paralyzed, once the muscles lose their strength and loses their fibers, even when the nerve stimulation returns, you are not going to have the muscle being active anymore.
They are on the same page that timely response is vital not only in acute events but also in managing chronic conditions like dementia, where early diagnosis and intervention can slow decline. Unfortunately, lack of awareness and stigmatization remains a key factor.
You will see a neurosurgeon stand for 9, 10, 12 hours, do a surgery, do a perfect, successful brain surgery, and after 2 days, 1 day, the person dies because there is no skilled workforce in that theater, in that ICU, to take care of the patient where the neurosurgeon stops. And we can't continue like this. I'm talking about urban areas.
This, the medical experts say, is compounded by paucity of chronic neurological infrastructure across the country, negating timely diagnosis and treatment. They want more pragmatic solutions through government intervention, bringing philanthropists to funding brain health in Nigeria. The guest wants more advocacy to help re-echo the message that ultimately preserving brain health hinges on recognizing that timely care saves lives and cognitive abilities. In Abuja, Lydia Sampson, NTA News.
The Agro-Climate Resilience in Semi-Arid Landscapes was established to address land degradation and challenges. To prevent environmental hazard and address climate-related issues, the Agro-Climate Resilience in Semi-Arid Landscape stakeholders have emerged in Ilorin, the Kwara State capital, to deliberate and propose solutions towards mitigating climate challenges in northern Nigeria. Shola Waid reports.
ACROSAL, which aims to address climate change challenges in 19 northern states of Nigeria, including the FCT, is being implemented to promote sustainable landscape management practices in targeted watersheds. National Project Coordinator of ACROSAL, Abdulkadri Umar, represented, explained that the project will strengthen Nigeria's framework for integrated climate-resilient landscape management.
Development of strategic catchment plan. We did 9, and this is part of the 11 that we are developing now. We already have 9 developed and validated. So this 11, we decided part of it we do it in Kwara State here. So we invited all the stakeholders engagement, all the academia, all the beneficiary communities within the catchment to be involved.
The resident of Kwara State will know what is necessary. For example, in the area of agriculture, it will tell us the soil quality so that they will know where to plant what.
While declaring the forum open, Kwara State Commissioner for Environment, Nafisa Abuge, charged discussants to collaborate and engage themselves towards developing a comprehensive plan that balances environmental, social, and economic needs of the people.
Proper watershed management and how to have a healthy and sustainable environment in order to mitigate a whole lot of climate change issues in the country, because Nigeria as a whole, me as an advocate of climate change, one of those knowledge that we don't really have is the effect of climate change, and it is hitting us day by day.
The strategic management plan will also facilitate Aquacel to meet its mandate and restore 1 million hectares of degraded land, making them cultivable, habitable, and usable for other purposes. In Ilorin, Shola Wahid, NTA News.
Next on our lineup is Sport Update. Olumide Eguntola is our guide.
Nigerian midfielder Wilfred Ndidi has completed a permanent move from Leicester City to Turkish giant Besiktas for an €8 million 3-year contract with an option of a fourth. Besiktas confirmed the deal in a statement to the public disclosure platform KAP Friday. In another development, under the watchful eyes of coach Eric Chell, Nigeria's Chan Eagles are intensifying preparations for their second group game at the ongoing Chan Championship 2025 against Sudan next Tuesday. The Eagles' 0-1 loss to Senegal in the group opener makes it a must-win situation for the Nigerian side. In female football, the head coach of 10-time African champions, the Super Falcons of Nigeria, Justin Madugu, has been nominated for the prestigious 2025 Ballon d'Or Women's Team Coach of the Year trophy. Madugu is among global elite women's coach nominated for their remarkable leadership style. Sonia Bonpastor of France, Arthur Elias of Brazil, amongst others, made the list. A member of the Super Falcons team also made the list in goalkeeping category. In tennis, world number 1 Yannick Sinner will compete at the ATP Finals in Turin for the 4th time. The 4-time major champion joined his greatest rival, Carlos Alcaraz, at the year-end event, seeking the title defense and more glory. Yannick stands second in the ATP race behind the Spaniard. The Italian has won 2 major titles from 3 finals this season. In combat sports, former Ultimate Fighting Championship UFC middleweight kingpin Israel Adesanya is ready to stage a comeback into the octagon. This is despite finding himself in the midst of the worst losing streak of his entire career. Adesanya, who lost his last 3 fights, revealed that he wants to get back soon for a comeback revenge mission on Strickland, who dethroned him in 2023, and Paulo Costa for a rematch. With Sports Update, Olumide Eguntola, NTA News.
This will be all we have for you on our news update tonight. Join us again on Monday for more interesting story. My name is Orofe Ogunshola. Thank you for joining us and good night.
Are you desiring a future career in nursing science, law, medical laboratory science, public health, accounting, economics, agricultural extension and rural development, criminology and security studies, and other NUC-approved and accredited professional academic programs? If your UTME score 140 and above, then this information is for you. Admission for all these courses is currently ongoing at the Atiba University, Oyo, Nigeria's fastest growing and cost-effective private university. The university is located in the peaceful, serene, and secure environment of Oyo Township in Oyo State, Nigeria. Hurry now. Admission is in progress. Visit www.atibauniversity.edu.ng to apply. Or call any of these numbers: 081-034-94152, 080-385-79822. What are you waiting for? The future is now.
Oh, what a wonderful world of Sure Clean detergent. Oh yes, you can have a clean and bright wash with Sure Clean. Sure Clean detergent is tough on stains, gentle on your hands, and leaves clothes smelling fresh. Oh see, for clean white and all colors, Sure Clean detergent makes you shine. As you spread it all, you can see the shine of Sure Clean brightness. Now, wear your smile with pride and nothing to hide. Sure Clean detergent makes your family clean and happy. Sure Clean detergent, happiness with every wash.